Welcome back, folks. I love it. This is one of the best times of my life when I got my three friends here with me. You know them. You know us all. It's the Stock Squad. Keenan Grace looking sharp as ever. I always feel like I'm underdressed when I'm hanging out with him. But I don't know. I'm saying that. But what do we got today? We have Stock Up with Larry Jones trying to take number one dress for the day. And Stocks with Josh down in my I feel like we're the Brady bunch here, you know. I got Josh down below me, Keenan to the right of me, diagonally down there. I got Stock Up with Larry Jones. And now you guys know today's a huge day. And what I mean about that is we have the president of the United States going out with a speech tonight at 9:00. We had Artemis 2. We were just all watching that. Lift off to go back to the moon. We got the president of Iran out there that was supposed to make some kind of announcement before President Trump. There is so much going on that it's getting insane. That's why we came together today to give you guys a good hour of just what we're doing, the money we're trying to make, how the best plays, where we see things, all of it and more. And we are back. And so I'm happy to have everybody here. First, I just want to thank the three gentlemen you see on the screen with me. It's always been fun. I know it's been, as I'm moving everybody around here, it's been way too long since we've been together face to face. I know we need an event to do that. Who knows?
Bitcoin Conference 2026.
We're looking. We're trying to make that happen too. Where is that at this time?
Vegas.
I know Vegas. It's in Vegas again.
It's in Vegas again.
Same spot.
Come on, man.
Possibly. I know. Possibly. We will see. But anyways, let's get there it is. That's what I was looking for. I want to start with Keenan Grace. Keenan, my man, who brings me fire, energy, positivity every time around him. And I'll say it again. I have never met a person that spreads awareness for financial literacy and just that positive vibes better than Keenan Grace. So welcome, Keenan. Thoughts? What do you think is going on today? You know, the week. I know it's been wild.
It has been wild. And just so everybody knows, we are still in the era of the taco trade. What does that mean? Trump always chickens out. Whether you like Trump or hate Trump, this is not about that. This is about how the markets have been moving, largely due to how Donald Trump has been tweeting. Technically, he's on Truth Social, but it always finds its way over to YouTube, Twitter, and so on. And I'll read it verbatim. He said today that Iran's new regime president, much less radicalized and far more intelligent than his predecessors. However, he's asked the United States of America for a ceasefire this morning. And Donald Trump said, we'll consider it when they open the Strait, AKA the area where most of the world's oil is flowing in. But Trump has said this, and this is why the market had the volatility today. He says that they are going to blast Iran into oblivion and back to the Stone Ages until they open up that nice oil trade route. So since we know this, we have to think about history. We want to look at stocks that have fallen every time that he says this and then come back after he says, oh, no, I didn't mean it. So with that being said, I want you to pay attention to a few. First one is really on fire. And we talked about this in the last session and the one before that with the Stock Squad. We can talk about this for a little bit and even individually on each other's pages. Micron, keep your eye on that. It's reacting really, really well to the taco trade things and everything going on like that. And fundamentally, they've been making a lot of money. Another one to pay attention to is NVIDIA. It's actually heating back up. So we want to keep that one in mind. And then I want to put this one on your radar too. I've been looking at a call option for Google. It's deep in the money, deep in the money. So it's going to cost a little cha-ching. This is the 230 call option. And I'm watching that one for January 15th, 2027. So again, I'll keep you up to date on how it goes. We don't want to just buy it at any price. We want to get them at the great prices. But Mo, always a pleasure being on your show.
Absolutely love it. Next up, like I said, we're just going to go straight down. Larry, I'm guessing the suit's a little newer this week. I'm guessing you're rolling in fat stacks of hundos. It must have been a glorious reversal.
Man.
tell me about what this week's been, man. Like, what are you looking at? What do you think? I know your community, my community, Keenan's community, Stocks with Josh community. We are all it's just crazy lately. So what are you telling your people?
Well, you know, we started buying before this Friday, the Friday prior we bought, and the last day we bought was Monday. And I expected it. I expected Monday to be a red day. I expected it to bottom out sometime Monday and then just find its way. But as you can see, it closed red, and the last 2 days have been green. And yesterday alone, I didn't say by how much, but when I checked, it was more than I made in 2020. That's how much the portfolio was up. And so it was up nicely. Now, here's what we want to know. Here's what we want to know, Mo. We don't want to just make the same money that the stock went down. We want to buy low. So when the stock, when the S&P and the Dow and the NASDAQ comes back up to it's where it was before it dipped, we want to be more wealthier because we bought low. If you do nothing, it goes down, it comes back up, you got the same money. Follow? So no, when it drops down 10%, we start buying 15, 20, we buy. But this 10% dip, we bought. And lastly, guess what today is, Mo and King?
April Fool's Day.
Exactly. You know what else is significant about today? It was a year ago today when this president, who's going to speak tonight, was about to unleash his tariff. Remember?
Oh my goodness,
I do. A year ago today, he said, I'm not going to do it on the 1st because people will think it's April Fool's. And if you will look, it was the 7th when the market actually bottomed out. So if you pull up a chart and go from the 7th of last year till now, one of the things you're going to notice is that we are still higher than the lows. And that is another reminder that the stock market just want to go up, even with the hills and valleys.
Wow. I'll tell you this. Josh, you're going to be next, but before we do, you know, I read today that somebody bought $50 million worth of Ethereum in the last 24 hours, right before Trump's speech. I don't know if that's a sign. I wish I could buy 50 million. Here's a person who can buy $50 million worth of Ethereum. Josh, what's your take on what's going on out there?
Well, you know, the market right now is absolutely, to Larry's point, in the hands of Trump. And what does that mean for all of us? You know, I don't see him getting bogged down. I see him wanting to be nimble, and I'm seeing him wanting to declare victory. Larry and I were having a conversation the other day, and he talked about the fact that Trump had been questioned about, you know, would the Strait of Hormuz have to be under control before leaving the war in Iran. And Trump said, no, doesn't have to be. We can just leave. And that was extremely telling to me, that comment from Trump, that Trump can do what he wants. He can shift and pivot and call it a win. I've been highlighting in my show, on my videos, each video has been talking about the recession word, the ugly R word. And it's not because I believe that we have a coming recession, but it's because I want everybody to understand that Wall Street is watching extremely carefully. Trump's got a finite window that he's going to have to pretty much just flip the switch, pivot, and bring some wins to the table, calm oil down, bring oil down immediately. He can't escalate. He can't bomb the crap and annihilate the infrastructure of Iran, because essentially Iran's going to launch their missiles and they're going to knock out, just like Iraq did back in the Iraq war. They started destroying their own oil wells. And so that was their way of saying, you know, if we go down, we're going to go down and take everybody down with us. We're going to hurt you. And we know that we can only go so far with Iran. Trump knows it. And to be honest with you, I agree to Keenan's point that this is absolute. We're in the pinnacle of taco here. Okay. Trump always chickens out. Not necessarily a nice phrase, but the point is that he talks extremely tough. You know, we're going to bomb the crap out of him. We're going to take him off the face of the earth. But the truth is, he's always for this purpose of appearing to be the strong man, to bring them to the table and negotiate. We don't know what Iran's going to do. And if for some reason they don't come to the table, and if this doesn't get worked out, price of oil continues to go higher because more oil refineries are destroyed, then yes, we absolutely 100% will go into a recession. I would say that we are on a clock that's ticking, and Trump is running out of time. He's got days, not weeks, to get this solved. If he does, the market can go back to all-time highs from here. It would have to be a pile of good news, and the market would have to believe it. And so, we're in a spot, and I said this today on my show, we obviously went into correction territory, not a bear market. We've come back largely 10%, 12% on the SPY. And at this point, we went from bear to neutral, and the market's giving Trump a final week, maybe two, get it all figured out before it goes back to bear. And if it goes back to bear again, it's going to be one of the hardest downturns you've guys seen. Instead of 10 to 12%, we're going to run straight for 20 to 30, and it's going to hurt a lot of people. So I think we're at a very critical juncture. The next 2 weeks is going to make or break hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, for the four of us. It's going to have a huge impact. If you ask me what I think Trump will do, it's a midterm election year. I think he's going to walk it back.
Oh, my man, that's exactly the question I'm going to go with. But before we do, folks, what are you doing to me? Hit the like button. Every time you hit the little thumbs up, that tells the algorithm the Stock Squad is back. And the other thing, do me a favor, put a heart in the chat to let the family know you enjoy them being here with us and talking about it. So do that for me so I know you're here. And if you don't know how to do the heart thing, put a 1 in the chat. Now let's go from there. Big statement. You guys know that BlackRock owns 99% of the world, it seems like. I don't know what it is. They have under management 14 to 16, ready guys, trillion dollars. Now the entire debt of the United States, I don't even know where it's at, but it's close. They got 16 trillion, I think, 14 to 16 trillion in assets under management. BlackRock is the king of the world when it comes to holding the purse strings. They don't, around the world, they're going, and I see Larry Fink going everywhere. He's the head of BlackRock. He said something that I want to bring up on this channel. I want to talk a little bit about it. We can talk about the play, CVX, Chevron, all that, accidental, that you had tons of money being made from Warren Buffett. Oh, he's so slow and old. And here he is making mad money yet again. He's even retired, I know. But here's the statement. Boom, pulls it up. BlackRock's Larry Fink says oil could drop to 40 if the Iran war ends right, or stay to 150 for years. Now, I'm going to add in the kicker of what he said. There is no in the middle. He said it's 40 or 150. That's a big statement. Now, I'm going to piggyback on what Josh just said. We have charts. If you look at the Qs, these are weekly candles here. We came down, we're testing the 50, bounced up, finished under the 50, pushed back over the 50 after breaking the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Folks, this is no joke. We are at a line where if we fail and we confirm, and that 5 crosses that 50 EMA, the green line crosses the red line, I believe we will absolutely tank another 10 to 20%. It's that simple. To get that to happen, we're going to find out if Larry Fink is right. I don't care what Trump says for the short term in terms of him saying whatever he's going to say tonight. I don't know if you guys agree. We can talk about this. But I believe he's going to come out and just pull out a crane, get a step ladder, whatever he has to do to drag this market up for the next few days. But my opinion has been this. The troops would not be ready to invade until the 6th or 7th of April because it takes that many days to get the supply chains lined up. I did a ton of research on this. The earliest they could do a full mobilization into that would be roughly around the 6th or 7th of April. At that point, it's up to Trump. So from here up to that point, there's a lot of rhetoric. There's a lot of talking, posturing, president of Iran, president of the United States, everybody talking. But as far as we know, things are still happening at a major, major issue out there in terms of bombs being dropped and everything else. And my question is, where do we go? Because this market, it got a little relief off of breaking of the Bollinger Band. That's normal. Technically, I'm not, oh, wow, it's over. We're running. The only way we run is if the Strait of Hormuz, I think somebody put that in there. Hormuz. Let me see if we could. That was funny. Good way to pronounce it. I'm not all on that, man. You guys put the hearts in there. Put the hearts in the chat, man. You guys are doing it up. Yeah, you guys are writing too quick for me. Anyways, so what I'm thinking, there it is. I found it. Boom, right there. I like the pronunciation. Strait of Hormuz. There it is. I don't got the hair of the moose because we don't got them around here. But here's the deal. Are we going lower? Are we going to see boots on the ground in any sense, taking over any oil? I think the Karg Island, I think that's, to me, still going to happen. Correct. I think it's going to happen. I also know they want that enriched plutonium. It's buried underground. You're going to have to send troops in, heavy equipment to get in there. That's not happening. They're not just going to hand it over, even though they're going to ask for it. It's not going to happen. And they could absolutely mess with ships in that strait for a long, long time. So something has to change. And Larry Fink is saying it's not going to be in the middle. It's either we get total control of that strait of Hormuz, or we have this continuation of bombing of ships and only the ones that pay tolls can go through. And if that's the case, we get $150 a barrel, and you have that massive recession, and you're going to look at these prices and wish we were there. Now, I want to ask, we'll start with Keenan again. I threw a lot in there, Keenan. I'm just curious of your thoughts, if you got any plays you're trying to do, or if you're just doing the, hey, I'm DCAing, or what's the scoop?
So one that I'm watching very closely is actually Microsoft. I mentioned it before. Microsoft recently hit under, and this has rarely ever happened. It maybe happened 4 times ever in history. It's under its 200-week EMA. That is so rare for a company that prints cash like Microsoft. That brought it down from about $552 all the way down to $300. Skip past the 400s, and now it's in the $360 range. One of the reasons is because OpenAI has been accruing a whole lot of debt, and Microsoft is heavily tied into there being one of the majority shareholders of OpenAI, aka ChatGPT. So this is one that is presenting a huge opportunity when we have prices that are tied all the way back to similar times of 2023, back in November. So many of you might not even have known us back then. So Microsoft was one I got on my radar. This is going to be one of the easiest leap options I've ever done in my life. I can see it now. And I will say, though, a lot of this is riding on the Strait of Hormuz. I've been hearing all kind of pronunciations for the family. So,
me too.
so forgive me. I've been hearing all kind of pronunciations. I've been hearing Hormuz. Listen.
Hormuz.
Whatever, you know what we mean. You know what we mean. That's I had a conversation the other day about how when you're having communication, it's more so about, do you understand what I'm saying? Do I understand what you're saying? That's really what matters. Leap options for my people who are new. It means when you're looking for an option that is 1 to 3 years out. So you can hold on to it for a good amount of time. That's what I'm looking for, right? On Microsoft. So I'll be looking to play that one. I feel like it's an opportunity of a lifetime. I feel like, however, again, it will be determined based on what's going on with the Strait of Hormuz. However, I want everybody to remember and put a 1 in the chat if you remember. The market was choppy before we went into Iran. The market was choppy due to inflation. The market was choppy due to all of the CEOs being tied in with you know who with the island, right? We're not gonna get into the names. We want Mo get banned now.
Don't be even bringing that up.
But it was tied to that, the island stuff, So we've been getting choppy markets related to all of this. So just know, once we get done with the Iran thing, which could take a long time, there's still going to be chop in the market. But when we get clear information on what's going to happen, because at the end of the day, family, it's all about, I'll say all, but majority about who controls the oil in the world. That's what it's going to be about. So with that being said, I'm watching what happens with that, because we have to, as traders, we have to see where the oil is, what's going on with the trade routes, but we have to take opportunities and not be afraid. Microsoft is a huge opportunity. Meta is a huge opportunity. Micron is a huge opportunity. However, again, that doesn't mean we won't end up with better prices than we have now. And just in closing, I wanted to say this. If we have good prices now, I'm willing to buy a good price. I'm actually willing to buy decent prices. I'm willing to buy good prices. And then sometimes you'll get great prices, but you have to be able to identify them and not be afraid of getting into a good price because you only want a great price.
Yeah, that's interesting. Hey, Lair.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know. I'm just throwing out some odd facts here. I read an article from some of the leaders of industry around the world, and they said, a lot of them, it was like 7 or 8 of them got together, and they said the world is underestimating the complete damage from the lack of diesel fuel, jet fuel, other fuels that are happening now, and it's nowhere near closely priced in. If that is true, if these leaders who are dealing with it firsthand, we're talking CEOs, government leaders around the world, if that is true, is there a way to stop the inflation that is bound to eventually hit as more and more people burn through their inventories, and they got to reorder around the world, and we got to send things, and the cost isn't just going to go away. And at $100 a barrel, it seems to be getting worse. Is there a way to make money? And if there is, what plays are you looking at? Are you looking at oil plays, or are you just DCAing, or like, what is Larry Jones doing to not just have $100 million, but he wants $200 million now?
Well, I did the easy stuff first, of course. On the extreme red days, I've been loading up on ETFs, and one of the ETFs is a emerging market ETF, right? So I just been loading up on those, and when I mean loading up, I mean hundreds of thousands of dollars, because I actually wanted to be overweight ETFs, right? I'm not 25, but the easy ones for me that I'm looking at when this oil problem is over, I went over it before: Carnival Cruise Line, American Airline, Delta, Norwegian. These I just been dollar cost averaging. I actually been buying $100 a day, and as of today, I cut that down to $50 a day. And I've gotten quite a few with all of these red days. Okay, so I did some catch up on extreme red days. I bought I put 500 in each and all of that. Just dollar cost averaging into those. Eventually, we don't need oil to come back down to where it is. The magic number to a barrel of oil to see movement in the stock market is 85. When oil comes back down to 85, you see some major jumps. You see the turnarounds right there. So I've been doing a lot of deep study on that. And a lot of people are expecting it to get back to where it was pre-war, which it probably won't for the rest of this year. Inflation is going up. We go from the Fed maybe raising interest rates to now considering lowering interest rates just because of what you said, Mo. The inflation, the farmers, diesel, all of this, we're talking months of damage. And just 1 month of the oil going up through the Straits of Hormuz, we have months of damage. So there are some things that I would be looking at when this thing reverse, oil, ticker symbol XLE. And looking for a good position to actually do a put on that, on some of these oil stocks. All right. It's going to take a while, but I've been looking at these oil stock. I think it's XLE. And I'm just looking at how far out do I think and how long is it going to take for oil to come back down? It doesn't take much for oil for some of these plays to start popping. But as far as this war is concerned, I went to the easy stuff: cruise lines, airlines, anything that depends on oil.
Okay, so between Keenan and Larry, they just dropped 7. I counted them, 7 different plays between them. Keenan gave you 3 freaking diamond gem plays. And then the crown jewels, Larry drops out 4. You guys, if you're here, and I'm going to ask Josh gave you something. We'll ask Josh for some more here in 1 second. If you guys appreciate, there is no paywall here. We come on here, we do our service to the community, give you guys the feed, let you do your due diligence. And of course, hopefully you're coming back and we're all high-fiving. Normally that is the way it is. And so now Josh is up the bat. And the same questions go to Josh. He heard everybody talking. He gets to respond. He gets to think about some of the plays, the oil thing, Larry Fink, the straight, all of this and more. What are you doing right now, Josh, to either getting out of, getting into, or looking for an entry?
You know, I was pretty good about buying the dip that we had. I started last Thursday with just single calls. Of course, the market had a pretty rough ride from Thursday to the beginning of this week. However, as I nibbled on those positions, today I was enjoying a very, very, very strong update. And I know through some chats that we've had amongst our group that so have you guys as well. So there's a nice little reprieve from the downturn. I want to answer a comment, and then I've got a message. It's not priced in. 100%, I promise you, based on my understanding of the markets fundamentally and technically.
Agreed.
The trouble that we are looking at or are in right now is not priced in. My message is going to be an explanation of Wall Street, but it's actually for Trump. Some of you may learn something through this. But you've heard this saying: bulls make money, bears make money, but hogs get slaughtered. And sometimes, you know, folks might say, okay, well, in the market, we've got bulls, bears, and hogs. Who are the hogs and what are they doing? And why did they get slaughtered? I want you to properly understand that Wall Street saying. The hogs at one point had been bulls. They stayed in a winning position too long, just too long, out of pure greed. They didn't believe that it would ever come to an end. Sometimes the hogs had been the bears. They never got off the bearish narrative. Okay, so let's say for a minute that we are doing as well as Trump said. My advice to him today would be: you have won, okay? You knocked out the Navy, you knocked out the Air Force. Don't knock out the world's, supply of oil, right? It's only going to hurt us, and we will not be able to readily recover from it. We're at an absolutely critical point. Trump, if you feel like you've been winning, it's time to lock in that gain, okay? And don't go from war machine to hog machine. Don't do it. It's time to wrap this up and let Wall Street go back to the business of going higher. Don't kill an incredibly strong economy. All that we've been dealing with for the last couple of years is the Fed saying that he sees growth accelerating. And we've found that these Mag 7 companies continuously find more money to employ, and they're profitable, find money to employ into CapEx AI spending. And so right now, the biggest problem we have is 100% not priced in. And as I said before, we have a ticking, clock, and every second matters before he pulls out of this situation and, stops turning into a hog. I'm hearing a couple grunts come out of Washington. You gotta knock it off and let the market go back to winning. The market will win. And I'm not getting political here. The market will win without you, Trump. Okay. Let it go back to winning.
Can I say the quiet part?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Larry. Facts need to be.
You know, I always say the quiet part that nobody's saying, right? So we thinking it, but we don't say it. Josh did actually. He went into it. Come on, y'all. We gangster. We gangster. The USA, we straight thugged out gangster. And it didn't start with Trump. It started many, many years ago. As a matter of fact, we can go back to World War II. We gangster. Listen, America never, literally never goes on to foreign soil and just leaves. We taking stuff. We taking the pen, we taking the paper, we taking stuff. Oh, this mine too. Now, what you gonna say? That's what we do. That's what America do. We leaving there with something, with some oil, some minerals, some something. We leaving with something. That's what America does, okay? I love this country, but I ain't blind, all right? So now, Trump knows what oil is going to do to this country. I believe in a few hours that he's going to get on. He's going to boast about how we knocked out their army, right? He's going to boast that they won't have nuclear power for another 15 years. We obliterated, we bombed, we desecrated, you know, G, I knocked him out. That's what he does, right? And that's what's going to happen. You guys are going to hear all about that. And then I played it just 24 hours ago. He said, I called Josh and I said this. He said, oh, let France worry about the Straits of Hormuz. It's not ours. We don't need that oil. We don't need it. He said that. But the truth of the matter is we do need it.
Yeah,
that's why gas is $4 on average a gallon, because we do need it. And trust me, he knew that when he said it. Then today he comes back and he tweets, it's not going to be a deal unless that Strait of Hormuz is open. Total about face. He knew it yesterday when he said it, that those were just words. All right. These are just politicians. Okay. It is called jawboning. The Fed does it when he's trying to control.
Come on, Larry. Come on, Larry.
It's called jawboning. You talk stuff. You write checks. Okay. In the hood, we used to say, don't write a check that your ass can't cash. Right. So that's where we are right now. Trump's speech in a short period of time, he's going to come out and he's going to say, yeah, man, we knocked them out. We slapped them around. We drug them around, blah, blah, blah. And they better open up that strait. That's what it's going to be. And
Mo,
then by tomorrow morning, he's going to be saying, and then let me say this. Then by tomorrow morning, he's going to be saying, you know what? There may be a deal on the table. That's going to be a tweet.
Josh, I'll let you jump in, and Keenan will hit you next. This is what I want to say real quick. That was pure fire. And the United States is no joke. They know it. It's like the biggest guy on campus no one ever messes with. He doesn't mess with anyone until now he does. We are that big guy on campus. No one's going to do anything, and they're not making a deal until that strait's open. Larry Fink is right. It's 150 or 40. The oil means everything. We have to do one or the other. They're not going to walk away and let it be 150. The administration would be wiped out in the midterm elections. They will not allow that. Josh, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to give people this understanding. There is not at this moment any easy money to make. If you had bought on the red candles we just had, then you're up. And so there was a little bit of easy money. But right now we're in what's referred to as a range. We fell or neutral. Let me give you the breakout and the breakdown. The market does not return to a bullish narrative until we can close a weekly candle above 675. And you have to follow the 2-candle rule. You need one weekly candle to cross and close. You need the next weekly candle to hold and break the wick of the previous candle. So we are entirely range bound in a neutral regime until we get back above 675. If we do that, all right, and we don't reject it 675, we really should go back to 700 or 720, and it will be a buy moment. Now, There's your breakout scenario. Your breakdown scenario on the SPY would be a return to 645, which is the last place that we bounced. We rolled, went a little deeper, and then we've shotten up from there. But if we come back and we close again underneath 645, then we go to 630 to 600. So what I want you to hear, if you're listening to me carefully, is that we're range bound, and it's not easy to make money inside the range. It gets to become easier money when we break above or beneath. We at least have a clear target. While we remain between 645 and 675, this is going to be more speculative. Long-term investing probably makes some sense here. I agree with Keenan 100% that Microsoft looks good. I loaded up on Amazon. It's actually one of my most profitable positions, were some skips in June on Amazon. I'm happy to hold them, and I'm hoping that Larry's right, that we're going to get a resolution in the next couple of days and the markets will rip. If we don't, as Mo has said, we are 100% in a situation where we're either going to go to 200 bucks or 50. If we go to 200, I promise you it's not priced in.
Yeah.
I literally have Microsoft, Hims and Hers, and Amazon. That's what I've been buying, guys.
Love it.
Keenan, thoughts? Now you just got 3 more gems from Larry. You got Josh dropping pure, beautiful technicals. Keenan, thoughts?
So my thoughts are this. If you are an investor, you got to listen to what Larry has been saying in terms of the ETFs. ETFs, no brainer. When I tell you guys, you wouldn't believe it. I told you I used to be a public school teacher. I'm still certified to teach. Mo, are you still certified to teach?
Yep, I got my certification and just got it renewed.
Yeah, I just keep renewing mine. I never plan on using it again. Never have to, really, right? God willing. But I'm still certified to teach. I just renew it every, decade or so? I don't know.
Well, I think it's 5 years in Pennsylvania where I'm at, so I don't know.
Okay. And so long story short, I made multiple times my salary in a single day. In the last 2 days, I've made $200,000. And I never say this to brag. I say this to let you know what can happen when you think about your investments and you just buy more of it as it goes down. I had bought Meta. Meta had come down to like maybe 520. I didn't catch the bottom. I didn't. I had caught it right before it went down even lower. I had bought $50,000 worth of Meta, right? Because I was up so much on all these other stocks. I said, I got all this cash. Boom. Bought $50,000 worth of Meta. It came down lower. But remember what I told you earlier. If I see a good price, I'll get it. If I see a great price, I'll just buy more. But I don't only wait for a great price because you'll miss a lot of the trades. So bought a lot of Meta. It went down to 520 after I bought it. And then boom, next 2 days, it shot up. I'm talking about like 7%, right? And on $50,000, that's a really good return on investment in 2 days. But I'm an investor and I plan on holding it because I can see Meta going into the $700 range again, as long as all of this stuff with oil kind of clears out. Now, outside of that, what I would think everyone should do, honestly, you do what you want to do, right? But I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Go to Google. This is what I'm going to do. You can do it as well. Literally Google oil price. Oil price. When you see that, you're going to see crude oil futures. You don't have to trade futures. You don't have to know anything about futures at all. But what you need to know is that the market is doing the exact opposite of what oil is doing. If the oil prices are coming down, then the market has been going up. When the oil prices are going up, then the market has been coming down. But let's just keep it simple, right? Oil prices come down, stocks are going up. So if we see the oil prices continue to go down, then we know this is something that you have to have skills to do. 0 day to expire options are printing. I'm talking about it's been getting crazy. If you know how to trade, I've taken in my last 10 trades, I think I lost two. Every other one of them. I'm talking about 0 day to expire options. We've been absolutely making a whole lot of money just because the oil is really the main catalyst these days. Sometimes it's inflation, sometimes it's all these different things, but since it's been solely based on oil, it's been extremely simple to follow the trend. So if you go back on the 15-minute time frame, I want to give everybody something to actually look at. On a 15-minute time frame, meaning you open your candles up on your whatever platform you're on and look at the first 15 minutes of the day. At least 4 out of 5 of the days, when you look at 5-day sections, about 4 or 5 days, the 15-minute candles have been showing you the direction of the market. Every now and again, you'll get a day where something happens and it won't be that way. But about 4 out of 5 times, the 15-minute candles are showing you the trend on the day. I've been buying 0-day to expire calls, and I've been printing money hand over fist. And I'm talking about real crazy life-changing amount of money. So I encourage you, if you have not learned how to use and read the charts, now is the time. Don't wait for the market to hit all-time highs again to try to learn how to read the charts. Don't try to wait for it to hit lows again for you to learn. You put in the time now. Look at the 15-minute time frames, watch it open up in the morning, and then use those charts. But here's a kicker. One thing that makes Mo a really good trader, that makes Larry a really good trader, and Josh a really good trader. I've seen it happen. Yes, they're making a whole lot of money, but they know when to let go of a trade. They know when to let go of a trade. That is going to make or break your trading.
Let me show you something, guys. You guys know I teach, right? I teach how to day trade, how to use my charts, how to use it all. And you guys are going to see this real quick. This is today. So I did a live lesson for my Earner Plus tier. First link down below, code Brett, if you guys want to join, 10% off forever. But I do a Wednesday, I teach live how to trade, use my indicator, all of it. And today I made $3,000 in about an hour. And I think by the time I was done with the live trade, I was up like 2,000 something. So today, and you heard Keenan say, what makes me, all of us different, but me, when I look at my trading skills, I look at my losses. Yeah, 385. Ouch. 900 on a massive, massive candle. It was nothing I could do. But I get out. And then I regroup, penny and dime myself back up until I hit that dollar one. 2,297. And I'm hitting 80% win days over the last year, documented live in front of my Discord. Folks, I teach. I have a 2-time national champion. I bring it to help people learn. Keenan said, you need to learn the technicals, not just for your daily, for the weekly candles, for the monthly candles, but you can use it for your minute, the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the hour. Put it all together with your fundamental analysis, and you got the tool chest to make financial freedom come. If you agree with me, put FF in the comments. It stands for financial freedom. I think we're just getting started, guys. I think there's a lot of opportunity with this market pulling down, and there's going to be mad money being made. You need to understand the technicals. You need to understand the fundamentals. Put it together. Each of them by themselves are powerful. Combine them, and you're going to be unstoppable. All right? Trump speaking in a little bit. I want your guess, guys, on if the market is going to be higher or lower tomorrow. Starting with you, Larry. What do you think he's going to say? And folks, no one's telling you go out there and play plays on this.
Right.
We are all guessing on this.
Right.
I'm going to give my opinion after you three gentlemen are done, and we'll go from there.
Hey, Mo, what do you call a deer with no eyes?
Clueless. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I was going to say a hood ornament, but we'll go with that one.
Listen, with Trump, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And the truth be told, I believe the market today priced in some of the good part. So if the market was going to move based off of what he said, I believe the market priced some of that in today. To be honest with you, I'm good at guessing what the Fed is going to say, been right. I'm good at market directions, but I just don't know. But I do know some of the things he is going to do. It's going to be the same thing as every speech. He's going to come out. We're going to talk about our wins. He's going to talk about how much we put a hurting on them. But I don't know what the ultimatum is going to be, what's going to cause the market to move. I do believe that a lot of the positive movement, some of it happened between yesterday and today. And so I just don't know how much more. If he doesn't give us anything more than what he said in the last 2 days, I just don't see the market doing what it did yesterday. So I just see volatility and a little flat. Can I take one more minute to say something?
Oh, we got 15, man. Go ahead.
Okay. So Keenan got me started on something that I've been doing and I've been teaching. All right. So guys, I'm going to pull this up. This is the Qs, right? Yep. This is the NASDAQ is the Qs. So let's just go to the NASDAQ. It's the same thing as the Qs, right? Now, if you go to a year, you could see that this was Liberation Day, Mo. Look at that. 1 year.
Wow.
Right? 1 year. Yep. And what did it do? After that 1 year, while everybody was moaning, we kept buying. We bought here. We kept buying, right? Because while people were moaning, all while they were moaning, Josh, oh, you guys, it's your fault, Josh, that the technicals didn't show you what Donald Trump was going to tweet. Mo, you bite, and Keenan, I don't like you. All of this is going on, and it's still been going up. And we've been buying. Keenan keep telling you, I'm buying ETFs. All the while it was going up, right? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you guys on what I do. I go in and I trade the Qs on options. Look at that. Even though it's going up, there are pockets to where daily it falls. So literally, Josh, me and you talked about this. We literally been printing money all of my money movers have been printing money on these falls. That happens after the morning. It's every single day. So what is my point? We've been printing money on these puts, and then I take my money on the days on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and I add it to my QQQ positions. I added to my ETF, which is QQQ. And if you go to the last 5 years, even if you go to Liberation Day, we're higher. It's just literally going up, even while big tech is getting whacked. And you know what? The only thing I'm gonna close by saying this. One of the good things about this war, Josh, is that before the war, we suffer from short-term memory. We were getting beat down by this CapEx spend. And I was saying the good thing about this war is that it's going to remove the floor from all of that. Let the software companies and all of the big X spending and the big AI scare, let it bottom out. And so have a strategy, just like Keenan was saying. I use the options market to pay for my ETFs. And then I go from high risk to low risk. High risk, I'm making money through options and we killing it too. And then I put it into something safe. Like Josh said, I don't overstay my welcome. Take that game and run with it. The one or two of you that's going to catch what I'm, should I say, pick up what I'm putting down.
Josh, thoughts?
Yeah, well,
you can figure out what Larry said, or you can go with the president.
Well, no, I want to highlight something Larry said, and he was a passing comment, but he said that Trump's not been very clear, and so I think that's how the market's going to measure him tomorrow. He's kind of like the new Fed. You know, when the Fed was going to speak, everybody was, you know, the markets were going to move, and I think, and what we want from the Fed always is clarity, right? And that's what the market wants from Trump right now. So basically, if he sounds like things are winding down and he's declaring victory, then the markets are going to take that as bullish. If he comes out and he leaves it on the table because he's too afraid to take the pressure off of Iran, and he speaks, you could say, you know, out of both sides of his mouth, the market will likely not like that because it gives, as Larry said, it's not clear. It's not clear. It's uncertain. So I would say this, you know, I know, Mo, you like to use the Bollinger Band, and I've been using the Bollinger Band on a high time frame, the weekly time frame. It does not matter what the market does. If we dropped tomorrow and went down at the end of this week and even a little bit next week, as long as we stay in the range, then the fact is we could still turn bullish next week. And so I'm going to repeat what I said. Easy money comes when you're willing to take risk on really hard days. Last week, we had a hard week and we went down deep beneath the bottom of the Bollinger Band. And for all of us that bought, we're all up nicely today. At this moment, we're in a neutral regime. means we're largely going to trade sideways. Even if we dropped a little, it doesn't mean that we're not going to still go back up and test the top. All the bad news has not been priced in, and the market does not want Trump to be unclear tonight.
Hey, Mo, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
If Trump speaks and the market goes back down to Monday's low was the low, right?
Right.
Monday's low.
Yeah, Monday was the low. We wicked down there. Yep.
That was the low of this entire war. That was the low,
Right.
wasn't it?
Yes.
So the question, if I may, and not to take over your show, thanks for having us on, because I think the people want to know this.
You give me the question. I'll give you my best answer.
If the market tomorrow drops back down to Monday's low, will you be buying?
Oh, no way. Absolutely not. I'm not sold.
Can I chime in real quick? I wanted to teach just something, a simple, very simple concept to everybody.
Maybe I could steal some of this from Keenan. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of people are losing in the market of investing because they're not buying the foundation or ETFs. And I want to teach you about a concept called the perpetual bid, BID. There's perpetual bids on the market because there are people who don't understand that they are buying into the market every single month. These are the government workers, for example, people who are working day jobs. I'm talking teachers, firefighters, nurses, everybody, right? You're working basically for the government. You're putting money and it's deducted out of your paycheck without you even thinking about it, going into your 401k, going into your retirement account. And it's called the perpetual bid. And currently, I just looked it up, it stands at $24 billion a month, a perpetual bid, regardless of volatility. Always, no matter what's happening in the market, this is happening again and again and again. Now imagine as more people get these government jobs and they're buying into their 401ks, if you go and talk to your mother, aunt, sister, brother, uncle, and they have a government job, and you're thinking, you ask them, hey, how much is coming out of your check and going into your 401k, your retirement account? They probably won't even know because they're not looking at it. So there's a perpetual bid to the tune of about $24.5 billion into the market. So what does that mean? There's always people buying in. So then when you hear that the market is rigged, it's actually rigged to go up because of the perpetual bid. So long term, once all of the hot things die down, like Larry was saying, and they fall under the floor, there are going to be people buying Microsoft, people buying Apple, people buying all of these things because they're in these ETFs, in these 401ks. So let's make some money. It's not that difficult, right? Let's just invest regularly and let's get to it. Like Josh just said, bulls make money, bears make money, but the hogs, they get slaughtered, family. When it comes to owning shares, it's time to be a hog. I want to own all of the shares. But when it's time to trade options, no, we in and out.
That's it. Right. Hey, Mo, I want Josh to answer that question too before we end.
Here we go.
Before we end, that's all.
So you asked me if I'm buying if we dip down to lows. My answer, and I'm going to explain why, I have a line in the sand. It's right here. You're saying, hey, Mo, not only are we not going to go straight back up and break out where I'm looking to break here for an explosion higher, you're saying we're going to go down and retest that low. Now, Larry, I'm going to look. I'm not just blindly saying, yep, I'm buying. I definitely don't do that. I use fundamentals and technicals. So the technicals would say we're retesting those lows. It could be a double bottom. We could absolutely explode off that double bottom and just rally like there's no tomorrow. The fundamentals tell me we are still massively overpriced. You could even use the Buffett indicator, massively overpriced. But because of the power of the U.S., the money being spent, printed left and right, the borrowing just continuing, don't even care about Social Security or anything else. They just keep borrowing more and more money. That money is being put into the system and the markets will eventually go higher. Add it with what Keenan just said, perpetual funding. You have a lot of motion to go up, and they want it to go up. That big, beautiful bill that they passed, massive giveaway to all the market and everything else. So all these positive things, right? We should be smoking higher. But why are we not smoking higher? One word, oil. If oil stays up there at 100 to 150 to 200 a barrel, and it drops down to that line and we're still over $100 a barrel, no way am I buying. I'm with Larry Fink. There is no in the middle. It's $40 a barrel or 150. And if it goes back and we drop down to that line and oil's over 3 digits a barrel, you're not rallying back up for no reason at all. If they clear that straight and we get guarantees forever that it'll be open for transportation of oil, gas, diesel, all of it, you will see the markets go to highs that will never, ever, ever been thought of. We are going to smoke higher. But if we get down there and we still have war, boots on the ground, oil's still higher, and they're bombing their own oil rigs, forget it. No way am I buying at that one. I'll wait for a better opportunity, which will come in a matter of probably a few weeks to a few months. And then I would load up. But here's the truth, Larry. I'm already loaded. I continue to buy every week.
I hear you.
I look at different things we do. I do the day trade, and I do all kinds of different things to take advantage, and we're very successful. So, Josh, thoughts?
All right. Well, you know, I'm no Warren Buffett, but I've been sitting on some money, and you know, I know it don't make Keenan happy to hear about it. I hate to admit it, but you know, we got 7 figures waiting to go somewhere. Look at what I get to do. If we come back to Monday's low, okay, I get to time travel.
Yep.
Back in time to July of 2025 and buy Microsoft, Meta, Google, Tesla at a much cheaper price. I get to buy VOO, SPY, and QQQ. Now, the fact of the matter is that it doesn't mean that that's the bottom. I just told you guys that if we can't hold 645, then we've got to go back to this ledge. This is support right here at around 600. So, but you got to put money to work. Not every stock is going to hit their bottom. Some show relative strength. So maybe Google doesn't come all the way down as low as Tesla. And so if you don't start buying a range, then you're not going to get it at a great price. And so, yeah, look at this. We are way off the tops. I'm getting to buy way down here back in July 2025 pricing. So the answer is yes. Let me throw one more thing out if you guys don't mind. It's a super ugly chart, and I just, for kicks and giggles, want to get these guys' reaction to it. Do we utterly ignore Nike, or is this company dead money? I think they've got about $9 billion, and they're not going to go bankrupt. Their sales are slow in China, but look at this thing. I'm just curious people's reaction. It's fallen down to the green. There's some bullish divergence on the MACD, not so much on the RSI. I'm curious anyone's thought on this thing.
I got thoughts on this one. And my thoughts on Nike are there's just so much better opportunities than Nike as a stock. That's really what it is. It's not that Nike is a bad stock. It's just great. It's just much better opportunities. So they lost so much of their market share due to not doing online sales through things like Amazon. They wouldn't partner with Amazon at all. They wanted the Nike thing to be its own thing. They took their Nikes out of certain stores, and now they're just not what they used to be. People are finding new shoes that are better for your knees. Again, allegedly, supposedly, hypothetically, people are wearing Brooks and Hokas and Asics more than you've ever seen. We're even seeing a resurgence in Skechers. We're seeing Adidas. So then they just lost so much market share because people were wearing them, not because they were the absolute best shoes. They were good, but then there are also other shoes that are good. So now people are more comfortable wearing other shoes. And if you go outside and walk around, you're going to see fewer Nikes these days than you would have 10, 20 years ago. So what does that mean? It just means that there's just better opportunities. You could make some money on Nike, but you could very likely make more money somewhere else. Oh, yeah. And I wanted to just close out on this. This is the last thing I'm going to say on this live stream. I don't know what Trump is going to do in terms of making the market go up or down. Like Larry said, I have no idea, right? But I know what I'll do. If he drops the market, I'm going to have more shares of things that I like. And if he makes the market run, I'm going to have more money. So I'm either going to have more money or more shares. That's all that's going to happen. He's either going to run up what I already have, or give me a chance to have more. So I'm going to have more money or I'm going to have more shares. That's my answer for what's going on with Trump tomorrow.
Hey, Josh, can I answer that question really quick?
Tell me about it, man.
Michael Jordan is the claim to fame for Nike. Mike is in the race cars right now. That's my answer to Nike. I ain't touching it. All right. I hope them good. But just look at this. Just look at this. Right. I asked that question, if the market drops, and Josh, you just start calling every one of these like you knew I was going to post this. Like this is how much these have come down, right? And the forward PEs have been coming down. And the truth be told, Larry will be buying if the market goes back to Monday's low. Monday was the low of the entire since the war started. Monday was the low. Larry will be buying, because the only regret I had from, and I got it's scorched in my memory. The only regret, and me and Keenan lines up on this, that I had from Liberation Day, and I spent $238,000 buying stock on Liberation Day, right? The only regret I had from Liberation Day, before that, was the bear market of 2022. Before that, it was COVID. Before that, it was the recession. The only thing that I regretted those 4 times is I didn't buy more. That's it. Because when it's over, and this is one of the things I've learned from all my years of trading, once the bottom is in and it starts to go up, most people miss out trying to chase. It's almost impossible to get it trying to chase. So I don't mind buying on the way down, especially if it's ETFs or individual stock that have been just beat down, and they're great companies and they're going to leg back up because of AI and what have you. Okay. So I will be buying.
All right. So with that being said, I want to thank, what do we got here? Husky Tom. Just to tell you, Husky Tom, I saw your question. I did a quick chart review for you. If I see 409 or above on a finishing candle, I like it. Until then, to me, it's still too risky, just to let you know. Hey, guys, I appreciate all 4 of us being here. It was great. I love it. I don't know who's hosting next. Larry, is it on your channel next?
It's me.
Yep. So in 2 weeks, most likely, maybe more, we'll be over at Larry's place. Make sure you check out all their channels. And of course, I appreciate you being here with mine.
What you got links? What links you got, Mo? Before you go off, what links you got today?
Come on. If you guys want to learn and earn, I got 2 links down below. One over to my Discord. The new Earner Plus is alive, just started. You get my fire link, the Stockmo indicator over TradingView. Finally there. Plus, you get a bonus trading day just for you on Wednesdays, plus Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. We'll be trading tomorrow. Use code BREAD. Sign up now. First link down below. And the link to the Stock Squad is the second link down there. Come on over there and join us there as well. I appreciate that, Larry. Hopefully, we're all going to make a lot of money this week. With that being said, we love you, and we'll see you later.
Peace.